We tend to think that people in poverty, if they just got a job, they'd do so much better. If they did it like we did it, they'd be fine. And it's not about that. There's lack of resources, and sometimes it's about what they do, but sometimes it's about the community not having everything that that person needs to be able to successfully move across that bridge into middle class. We tend to judge, well, why are they where they are? Well, because they don't maybe have all of the things that we have that help us get through our day without the bottom falling out. We are not just offering a meal. We're not just offering a warm bed, which both are very, very important. They're critical. We need to offer the tangible things that people need in crisis. But there's so much more to what we want to do. We don't want people to stay where they are.
Really, the heart of what we do is that we want to work together to see life transformation in the people that come through our doors from wherever they come. And that's really our goal. We have no agenda other than to help people move forward, keep them walking and progressing.
If poverty continues to grow in Glens Falls, there's going to be a tipping point where our community isn't going to be able to stay sustainable. And so the answer to that is making sure that poverty doesn't continue to grow. And every single person who can have a job and pay their rent and be able to be successful will help our community as well. So we're not just about the individual, we're about our community.
The thing that I tell my grandchildren, two things all the time. First you work, then you play, okay? And the other thing is, it is so much better to give than to receive. Just do it. There are people out there in need, and the least little, it doesn't matter how much, it's just do it. Just pay it forward, just do it. It's just good for the universe, it's good for our community, it's good for everybody.
This is our resource center, and it is really meant to be the outward-facing spot in our building. So people from the community who have needs can come in here and get connected to resources. They may need help finding an apartment, they may be facing eviction, or their power is being shut off, or whatever the case may be. They can come here and meet with a resource navigator to get connections to the services in our community.
It's definitely about meeting people at their point of need, their point of motivation, and not discriminating in any way, shape, or form. Really welcoming them into relationship, and having a real unconditional positive regard for them.
Really, they can come in any number of ways. People might come in for a meal at the kitchen, or into our food pantry for a food box for the very first time. They may have heard about us through advertising or a friend and come in to see the resource navigator to get help. They may be homeless and come for Code Blue or for the regular shelter. Could be that they need help with laundry and somebody told them to come here to our day room and that they could do laundry. So wherever they come in, that's when we get to know them and find out what their issues are and help to add support services to that.
You know, there's an incredible thing about this community and about Glens Falls and the greater area, and so many needs, so many people that you know, that I know, have great jobs, and they go home to a beautiful family, to a beautiful home, and then they go back to work, they go on a vacation. Not everybody in our community has those luxuries. A place like Open Door fulfills such great need that a lot of us in the community don't even see, can't even touch, can't even fathom. People that are hungry, people that need love, people that are out of a house, out of a home, they have a place of safety to come here.
Phase 2 is going to build on that. It'll give us the food pantry, a new entrance where we have a security desk and an intake coordinator for the shelter, and it'll give us the kitchen. It'll finally get the kitchen moved from Lawrence Street into this building. It will have a 100-seat dining room as well as a culinary arts program. So we can teach guys in our shelter to get into the culinary arts industry. Let me show you a little bit more about what we have planned. For example, on the 3rd floor, we're planning a men's emergency shelter. It'll have about 50 beds. We'll also have a little semi-private area for people who maybe have a job, but they can't afford an apartment yet, and we'll work with them to be able to afford housing. In phase 2, this wall is coming out, and this space, the resource center, will open up into a computer lab in the chapel. Computer lab will be 8 workstations and a teaching area, and it will be a place where people can come and get help with resumes, job searches, and so on. We would love to do some higher level computer training for anybody who wants to get into that industry. Whatever we can do to help people find jobs and keep them. On the 2nd floor, our plan is to have 20 to 25 beds for a 1-year program. That's where we really get into the meat of why someone is homeless and working through all of those to help them heal so they can become a productive member of our community. We'll help them with life skills and addiction recovery and mental health, and we'll also give them work skills and job placement by the end.
We could not possibly do what we do without the community, without those who support us and back us here in any way. We rely on volunteers to get the work done. We rely on donations from the community and from our supporters. And that is a huge thing to us. And we depend on that more than just for the actual the time or the money that is given, but for the support. It means a lot to know that we're supported and that the community cares about the people that we serve.
We even have plans in the basement. Our hope is to have a medical clinic that is free for our guests. We will work with local providers as volunteers to come in and offer services to the men in our shelter as well as families that may be coming in for our day services. One of our guys right now has some anxiety issues, and he's working in our workshop, just building some furniture, building some things out of pallets, and that has given him a sense of purpose that he hasn't had. He's able to be creative. That's something somebody on the street can't ever do. And so now he has the space to do that, and that's part of his healing process. He's part of a community here, and that has helped in that healing. So we're really proud of this space. This is our day room, and it's going to be the main hub of relationship in this building. We want to get people out of the library and city park where they're kind of hanging out doing nothing right now and bring them in here where we can really help them to move forward. So what does all this add up to? Well, this is a picture of what the building will look like when it's done. But it's about so much more than a building. It's about having a place in our community where people in crisis can come and get help. It's a place where we can meet people at their point of need with grace and dignity and respect, and walk their path with them toward hope and life.